What's going on, guys? This is another episode here of it's Nolan's Playbook. My first hot topic is the New York Giants going against the Denver Broncos. My second hot topic is red hot New England Patriots and Drake Maye balling out. Let's get right into it. This New York Giants team, wow, wow, wow. Blowing a 19-0 lead and allowing a team to score 33 points in the fourth quarter after they were dead in the water. Jackson Dart was 15-33 for 283 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. Jackson Dart was sacked 4 times. Jackson Dart had 5 carries for 11 yards and 1 touchdown. Cam Scatterbo, 16 carries for 60 yards, 3 receptions for 34 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 9 carries for 46 yards and 1 touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 receptions for 95 yards. Daniel Bellinger, 3 receptions for 83 yards and 1 touchdown. Theo Johnson had 3 receptions for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. Bo Nix for the Broncos side of it, 27 of 50, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns for Bo Nix. Running the ball, Cortland Sutton, 6 receptions for 87 yards. Marvin Mims Jr., 6 receptions for 85 yards. Trey Franklin, 3 receptions for 19 yards and 1 touchdown. R.J. Harvey, 1 reception for 2 yards and 1 touchdown. So let's get right into the nitty-gritty of it, man. For the first 3 quarters, the New York Giants football team, they dominated this game. It was 19-0 going into the fourth quarter. They feeling good about themselves. They have life. Jackson Dart's doing okay. This Giants defense is holding up pretty well against a good Broncos offense, and everything's all flowers and roses for the Giants. I mean, to start off the game, Jackson Dart literally hit Daniel Bellinger with a dart down the field because Daniel Bellinger got wide open, and it was 7-0 just like that. And you're like, oh crap, the Giants are trying to do something in Mile High City. You had Cam Scatterbo score a touchdown off of a screenplay. You had Tyrone Tracy Jr. get through the teeth of the Broncos defense, and he scores a touchdown. Theo Johnson scored a touchdown off of a deflected pass. So it's like this was made to be the New York Giants night rather. And then all hell broke loose fourth quarter. 19-0. The Broncos come storming back after Trey Franklin catches a deflected touchdown pass that was up in the air for a second. He catches it off the deflection, and that's when the Denver Broncos started having life. And then you had R.J. Harvey score a touchdown in the fourth quarter. As he was backpedaling, he was still able to catch one for the touchdown. And then after that, it just started going the Denver Broncos' way, man. They just kept storming back. They just kept fighting after they had no life. You had Bo Nix drove the 2 touchdowns to Trey Franklin and R.J. Harvey. And then when you have Bo Nix scrambling and running for 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter too, that's not good. Bo Nix is not athletic. He is not. So the fact that he was able to use his legs to score 2 touchdowns against a defensive front of this New York Giants football team who is elite, the New York Giants have an elite defensive front, that's inexcusable to let Bo Nix use his legs when he is not a mobile quarterback to do that. Not only that, Trey Franklin's the deflected catch, y'all got to knock that ball down or try to intercept it. There's no way that Trey Franklin should have still caught a deflected ball that was in the air for a touchdown. There's no way in the world that R.J. Harvey should be backpedaling on y'all and still catching the touchdown pass. There's no way that y'all should have allowed 33 points in the fourth quarter after y'all had a 19-0 lead. I know that Jude missed his extra points today or yesterday. I know he missed extra points, but there's no way in the world that y'all should have allowed the Broncos to get down the field at the end of the game that fast to get into field goal position. Not only after that to win the game on a field goal. But this is on Brian Daboll too for his poor coaching. Number one, when you are up 19-0, number one, and you try to go for a 2-point conversion to make the game 21-0 so it could be a 3-score game, why not Brian Daboll just go for one with the extra point and it's 20-0? Instead, you try to get greedy to make it a 3-score game, and you try to go for two and you get nothing. Not to mention in the fourth quarter, when the Broncos scored their 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, Sean Payton goes for it twice on the 2-point conversion, and the Broncos convert their 2-point conversions twice in the fourth quarter on y'all. That should not happen. So Brian Daboll, not managing well, not coaching well, not making a great coaching decision. 19-0, and then you said, oh, let's go for two. Not getting that. Number two, them going down the field, getting the touchdown, Jackson Dart. The Giants retake the lead at the end of the game. And then Jude missing the extra point. Had Jude made that extra point, it would have been a 3-point game. So that means if this New York Giants football team can't hold this Broncos team, that means that they'll just take the field goal. The Broncos take the field goal, try to tie the game. At least, at worst, you have overtime. Instead, when Jude missed that field goal, it was a 2-point game. The Broncos went down the field and got in the field goal position. Will Lutz kicks the field goal to win the game by 1, 32-33. So this was not good. And another coaching mistake that Brian Daboll made, I told y'all like 2 weeks ago when they played Kansas City, I said, why is Brian Daboll not using Cam Scatterbo? Why is Cam Scatterbo getting a limited amount of touches with running the ball? Fast forward to like 2-3 weeks later. Why Brian Daboll is Jackson Dart? Why did he only have 5 carries for 11 yards and 1 touchdown? And the only huge carry that he had was getting into the end zone for a touchdown at the end of the game. But that really didn't matter because y'all still end up losing the game because Jude missed the extra point. Broncos go down the field, get in the field goal position, and all she wrote. Why is Jackson Dart only had 5 carries for 11 rush yards and 1 touchdown? Why you want to use a guy's strength, something that he does well at the end of the game when it really didn't matter anymore? Why not use that in the beginning of the game, throughout the game? That's what I'm saying with Brian Daboll. His coaching at times is just, I don't know, it's not good at times. And that's what I'll be telling y'all about a lot of these coaches. You have these players, you have to use these players' strengths. Why would you use, I'm not saying that throwing is a weakness for Jackson Dart. He was 15 out of 33 throwing the football. Why are you throwing the football 33 times with Jackson Dart and only running him for 5 carries? That don't make sense. That's backwards, and that's what I'll be telling y'all. These coaches, they don't use their players' strengths to their advantage. They make the game so difficult, and it doesn't even have to be. But more importantly, this Giants defense, they have a loaded defensive front. There's no way in the world that y'all should be giving them 33 points in the fourth quarter. When y'all had a 19-0 lead, y'all defense held up for 3 quarters. What in the world happened to y'all in the fourth quarter? That is inexcusable. And that is not a good loss, blowing a lead like that when you have the game in control. But also, your coach put y'all in harm's way because of his coaching. We have to give a lot of credit to Sean Payton and his team for battling back, because that is not an easy comeback. And a lot of things had to go right for the Denver Broncos in that game, and it went right in the fourth quarter. When they caught that deflected pass, when Trey Franklin caught that deflected pass, I told my dad, that's going to lead their comeback right there. And well, it led their comeback. Passing first downs, the Giants had 12 passing first downs to the Broncos 15. Rushing first downs, the Giants had 7 rushing first downs to the Broncos 8. On third down, The Giants were 6 of 15 on third down. The Broncos were 4 of 13 on third down. On fourth down, the Giants were 2 for 2 on fourth down, and the Broncos were 1 of 2 on fourth down. Passing yards, 268 passing yards for the Giants, 265 passing yards for the Broncos. Rushing yards, 119 rushing yards for the Giants and 142 for the Broncos. 8 flags, 8 penalties called against the Giants, 12 penalties called against the Broncos, which was the reason why they were originally down 19-0. All the penalties and 12 penalties is not good. The Giants could have outran the Broncos. They had 119. The Broncos had 142. They could have outran the Giants had they just used Jackson Dart like they were supposed to. This Giants defense is elite. Don't get me wrong. They are elite. So I do get it by not trying to put Jackson Dart in harm's way. But you have to work and game plan off of a player's strengths and not a player's weaknesses by letting him throw the ball 33 times. So that's not a good loss for the Giants. And they had no business losing that game. They had no business losing that game after you up 19-0 in the fourth quarter. With that being said, my second hot topic transitioning, the New England Patriots going against Mike Vrabel's former team, the Tennessee Titans. Drake Maye has been balling out all year long so far, and we through week 7, and Drake Maye is balling. He was 21 of 23 in this game for 222 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 carries for 12 yards, or 8 carries for 62 yards for Drake Maye. Ramondre Stevenson had 18 carries for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs had 7 receptions for 69 yards. Kayshon Boutte had 2 receptions for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. Mac Hollins had 2 receptions for 49 yards. Austin Hooper had 2 receptions for 11 yards and 1 touchdown. In this game was dominated by Drake Maye. Whether it was his arm or whether he was using his legs to run the ball, he was doing everything in this game for New England. And over the last few weeks, Drake Maye has been doing everything for this team. Drake Maye is making the guys on the team around him better. You look at Ramondre Stevenson yesterday, he was running the ball down the Tennessee Titans' throats, literally. Every time he got the ball, he was just running it down their throat. Nothing they could do about it. He had a touchdown. Stephon Diggs. Drake Maye is resurrecting Stephon Diggs' career. Drake Maye has Stephon Diggs playing like Stephon Diggs was playing when he was in Minnesota or when Stephon Diggs was in Buffalo. That's how Drake Maye has him balling. You got guys like Kayshon Boutte, Mac Hollins, Austin Hooper, who people around the world don't even know. But Drake Maye's playing so well that he's making those guys relevant. He's making those guys make a name for themselves. So, Drake Maye, you are balling out. Good job. These guys wanted to get a win from Mike Vrabel because he was the former head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and we know that he didn't admit this, but we know Mike Vrabel wanted to go in there to his old stomping grounds and get a win, and New England did that for him. Mike Vrabel has changed the culture with the Patriots. He has brought a toughness to this team, and he's got these guys believing in and trusting the process, just like he did when he was with Tennessee. And you look at Tennessee, they are in a free fall right now. They just fired their head coach in Brian Callahan, and now they're going to be looking for a new head coach after the season. Let me tell you this. Mike Vrabel has more wins with the Patriots right now through week 7 than what the Tennessee Titans had last year. And Mike Vrabel didn't even coach last year. He took a year off last year, and he has more wins this year than what the Tennessee Titans had all of last year. And he didn't even coach. That tells you everything you need to know. And you're going to already be on your second coach since you fired Mike Vrabel, because you just fired Brian Callahan. So the Tennessee Titans are in a free fall, but this is more about New England and how they're balling. New England is 5-2, and I told y'all before the season started, I said New England's gonna have a chance to make the playoffs. Mike Vrabel, he's gonna come in and he's gonna change things. And Drake Maye's sophomore year, he's balling. And you might say that, oh, they beat teams who they should beat. They beat teams who are not good. They beat teams who are below 500. Yes, they did beat the Miami Dolphins. They did beat the Carolina Panthers. They did beat the New Orleans Saints. And they did just beat the Tennessee Titans. The reason why I believe in the Patriots is because I seen the Patriots beat their division rival in the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo in a primetime game. I've seen the New England Patriots almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they didn't. But they almost did it. That's why I believe in this team. That's why I told you guys this team before the season's going to have a chance to make playoffs. Because Mike Vrabel is going to come in and he's going to put his imprint on this team, and he's not going to allow these guys to be soft. He's not going to allow Drake Maye to struggle. He's not going to allow this team to develop the bad habits that they had last year under Drake Maye. That's why I believe in them. And you getting a signature win at Buffalo. This New England Patriots team, they are very much in play to win the division. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm not saying they're going to win the division. But I am saying that they can and will make the playoffs. I told y'all that before the season started. Go look at my videos. I told y'all that. I called it. Right now, they're 5-2 and they're playing good ball and they can't do no wrong. This week, I think they play Cleveland this week. I might be wrong, but I think they play Cleveland this week. Cleveland, they have a good chance to beat Cleveland. But one thing about Cleveland, they sneaky because Cleveland has a great defense. They have a great defense, so it's a trap game because of Cleveland's defense. Offense, the New England's defense will be able to take care of Cleveland's defense. Not worried about that. They'll be able to take care of Cleveland's offense. So the Patriots defense, they got that, but I'm worried about the Patriots offense because of Cleveland's great defense starting with Myles Garrett. But with that being said, man, that's all I have for you guys today. Remember to come back for more of Nolan's Playbook tomorrow. I'm giving you guys the NBA Eastern Conference standings. I gave you guys the Western Conference standings 2 weeks ago. And now I gave my predictions about the Eastern Conference tomorrow. And we out of here.